Hi everyone, welcome to Honey Drops Tarot. This is a special bonus reading for the sign of Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Capricorn, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all of your likes, shares, and subscribes. I truly appreciate it. Just a quick note, please do not fall for any scammers. I will never reach out to solicit for a private reading. I do offer private readings, and if you're interested in signing up for one of those or in making a donation, the information regarding that can be found in the About section of my YouTube page, and I thank you so much in advance. Capricorn, I hope that you're doing well. This reading is all about what your dreams are trying to tell you. So I'm going to be using 3 different decks for your reading today. The first one, the Wild Unknown Archetypes for the overall energy, and a combination of Oracle and Tarot, the Oracle of Mystical Moments and the Tarot of Mystical Moments, both by Katrin Weltz-Stein. Cards have been pre-shuffled. This is for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Capricorn, Sun, Moon, whoa, Rising, or Venus. Nothing flipped out. Nope. I need something in the upright, please, Spirit. Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus for Capricorn. This is all very chaotic. Come on. One card to flip out. Nothing is flipping in the upright, so I don't want to take that as your overall. There we go. Interesting. The Mirror. The Mirror. I'm not even going to attempt to tell you what that Roman numeral is because I have no idea. I feel like it's 118. LXVIII. 118. I'm not sure. Maybe that number has significance to you. But this, anytime I see this, there are a couple things that I think about when I see this. Number one is if you've ever seen Harry Potter and the whatever of the whatever, there's one of the films where Harry has this piece of a mirror, and when he looks into it, he can see his godfather, Sirius. It's like it's a portal to a literal other place, another person who has possession of it. And I don't know why. I mean, the constellation Sirius might mean something to you in terms of your astrological chart. Something could be very serious that's going on in your life right now that is almost like a sliver or a shard. Something could have been broken. I also see this as, it reminds me of the monolith in the movie 2001, which I just watched last night for the 10,000th time. It's my favorite film. It's like a portal, right? Mirrors are portals, and sometimes they say they're portals into the afterlife. The eyes being the mirror of the soul, or the windows to the soul, excuse me. They're not the mirrors to the soul. Why did I say that? Maybe you've been looking in someone's eyes and they're mirroring something back to you. It's interesting. I was thinking about this morning, actually, so there's a reason Spirit's bringing it to my attention. A lot of people don't realize this about me, but it's not that I copy people, but I mirror energy. So if you come at me with like fantastic energy, I'm gonna mirror that back to you. If you come at me with aggressive energy, I'm gonna mirror that back to you. If you're gonna come at me with loving energy, I'm gonna mirror that back to you. Because I meet people where they are. So, for better or for worse. And I feel like that's something that is playing, that's like a factor in your life right now. Of you know, for me, can be sometimes very unconscious. So maybe it's about bringing that to your consciousness. It's hard though, right? Because I see the moon featured here. Anytime we see the moon in Oracle or Tarot, at least for me as a reader, the moon represents mysteries, illusions, and confusion. The moon is nebulous. It's just this, like, it doesn't have its own light source. The only reason why the moon gives off any kind of light is because it's reflecting the light from the sun. The intensity of the sun shines off the moon and shines on Earth, but it doesn't itself have its own light source. And so therefore it's like, is the moon actually showing us what it is? And then that kind of can melt into, are you showing people who you really are? Are we ever? Or are we just showing like this version of ourselves that is simply what people expect of us? Are we able to, or are we just acting as mirrors to one another? Right? So it's that time of day. It's not really golden hour yet, but the sun is going to come through my room in a certain way, so I hope that it doesn't cause too much of a distraction. I'm going to pull 3 cards for the base spread from the Oracle, 3 cards for Clarifier from the Tarot. There is no particular spread. There's no past, present, future, or anything like that. Just getting the message that you need to hear at this time. The cards are down. Yeah, okay. So lots of divine feminine representation here. Well, yeah. So the very first card, number 39, which reduces to an 11, it's the Justice card in the Major Arcana, talking about karma. Could talk about legal situations, but it's more about karma. It's more about fairness, equal give and take. My home is my castle. My home is my castle. She's wearing it on her back like a backpack. It's the sense that you've worked very hard to protect something very precious. So I see you offering something though. I mean, it could be your literal home that we're talking. Oh, it's so interesting. I'm looking across the street and there's a dad who has his daughter on his shoulders, just like this. It's really, he just put her down now because she's heavy. But there's this offering that I see you making, perhaps. Oh, I just heard offering to spirit. You know, okay, like a lot of things are coming through, sorry. Imagine for a moment, Harry Potter saw his godfather through this little sliver. Imagine for a moment that you could see spirit looking back at you, like you always had a connection to them, and it was in your hands, right? It was in your hands, that whenever you wanted to reach out to them, that they would be there for you. And in that sense, you look in a mirror See how that light just goes right down the middle. So bizarre. You look in the mirror, and is it possible that you could see spirit staring back at you, recognizing that you are spirit? Do you accept that? Can you accept that? Right, that something outside of you is you. It's this sense of self and other. This is something that is all of what philosophy, the field of philosophy is all about this, right? Self and other. Can the self exist without the other? And we could be talking about kind of earthly relationships, sure, but I feel like I'm talking about something deeper, like yourself and your higher self. Yourself and your divine self. Like you're asking that question right now is, am I separated from my divine self? And to that, I'd say, is that possible? You could be separated from like what they want you to do or what you think that you need to do. But is it possible for you to be separated from them? I don't know. I think we can be quiet and closed off to it. But I think that it always is ever present. Six of Cups. Six of Cups talks about reminiscence, nostalgia, contemplation, reflection. Oh, reflection. Reflection to the past, reflection on happier times, memories. A version of self. Let's get a clarifier for the Six of Cups. The Hanged Man. Perspective. The Hanged Man, Major Arcana, Virgo energy. Number 12. The Hanged Man, it's so interesting, right? In this particular rendition of the card or depiction, you see the zipper at the top and it's unraveling, and behind it are the clouds, also reflected in her dress. So it's this sense that something is now becoming very apparent, like it's unraveling now, like perhaps maybe it's like identity. Like, what do? When we put our clothes on and we zip things up, it's like this layer of protection, right? And if you're doing that metaphorically or you're doing that spiritually, you're zipping something up to protect yourself. It's the reason why I surround myself with tourmaline and obsidian. Like I have a big plate of obsidian on my desk right now and I'm wearing tourmaline, right? Like I may dabble in all these things, but I'm not going to be stupid about it. Like I know that I want to be vulnerable, but I also know that I can't be completely vulnerable because we have to protect ourselves. And so I feel as though there's something here that maybe you've protected yourself too much. You've closed yourself off a little too much from something that you're looking at when you look in the mirror. It could be something recently that you saw about yourself that you didn't necessarily invite or like. And that's not admitting something horrible. I think we all go through that, where we look at something we did or said or didn't say and we question it. Like we have a lot of regret about it. And the first part is understanding our motivations behind things. Like when we can start to understand that, then you can start to heal. especially if it's something that you didn't like about yourself, right? There have been so many situations where I've done or said something that like made me feel ashamed or regretful or annoyed at myself. Like, why did I allow myself to be so vulnerable? But then I think, okay, we look back on it, so I think, no, I don't regret being vulnerable because I came with the most authentic version that I knew how to come with. And if somebody else is not going to accept that about me or take advantage of that, then so be it. That's their problem, right? That's their problem, because what I carry with me is a part of who I am. And I tried to show that to you and you didn't necessarily want to accept it. That's fine. But I think that you're getting a lot of perspective on it now. And the Hangman requires us to step back a little bit from it so that we're not so emotionally involved, perhaps. Like it's too close. I just need to step back a little bit so that I don't get wrapped up in the memories of it and then just that's all I'm looking at. You know, this really could have to do with divine counterparts as well. I'm not saying that it's all about that. Number 34, which reduces to a 7, the Chariot card in the Major Arcana, Cancer energy. You could be dealing with a Cancer of prominent Cancer placements in your chart. The word is abracadabra. Once again, we see this kind of castle imagery as being very integrated into the feminine body. Creating magic. Do we know how to do that? Even this feels like a little magical. You know what this reminds me of? It actually reminds me of when you look at the surface of a lake and it's like the sunlight is sprinkling off of it, shining off of it, and it just looks like 10,000 stars. That's what this reminds me of, and I see that echoed here. This sense that we're trying to make our dreams and wishes come true, right? And it's clarified by the Lovers. Number 6 in the Major Arcana, Gemini energy. So you could be dealing with a Gemini. This sense that perhaps things seem a little unconventional. The whole thing is rather unconventional, but we can make it work. If you believe we can make it work. The Lovers doesn't just talk about divine partnership, it also talks about choices. What choices will we make that are for our best and highest good? What is this abracadabra all about? What magic is happening right now? 8 of Cups. 8 of Cups is about walking away from what no longer serves you, and not subservient. Just, if it's not bettering your life, if it's not raising you up, if it's not helping you to evolve as a human being, then what is it doing? It's a distraction. It's an addiction. It's a codependency. It's a placeholder. Man, damn. The thing about the 8 of Cups is that you might not know the end goal or the end destination. We don't know that in the 8 of Cups. We just know that we're stepping away now from something that is not good for us, and that it's required. Usually, the characters in the 8 of Cups don't turn around, but this one, as you can see, ever so slightly. Just looking back one last time, right? Looking back one last time. And then you realize what? With the gardener here, you want to plant something new. You want to start something new. You want to build a new kind of home, a new kind of stability. Number 27, the gardener, 2 and 7 reduces to a 9. The hermit card. Really trying to dig deep. Go within. Question everything. Question identity itself. Our identity. Face fears. That's where the real growth happens. It could be paralyzing you. 8 of Swords. Massive fear here and anxiety of the prospect of facing your fears is so terrifying. Almost then you'd almost rather stay in that cage that you've built around yourself that's a little cozy rather than explore. You're free to go at any time, and yet here you are remaining in that anxiety. And clarifier for the 8 of Swords. That's 2 8s in your reading. 2 6s, 2 8s. Number 2, the High Priestess. So Spirit is asking you to listen to your intuition. That your intuition will never lead you on the wrong path. You can never go wrong. Even if the outcome is not what you wanted, when you listen to your intuition, then you act from a space of integrity. Because you're doing what feels true to you. Now, if that involves other people, you have no idea how they're going to react. That's on them, that's not on you. The High Priestess sits at the veil between worlds. It's Pisces. She's an observer. She knows everything and says nothing. She's very, very psychic. We're all psychic. We just have to use that gift, work that gift like it's a muscle. Use our intuition like it's a literal muscle. This is what you're capable of. So I'm going to read from the book, The Mirror. The mirror. The reflection, the illusion, the looking glass. We look into mirrors every day without recognizing them as portals into another realm. They can shatter, flatter, distort, reflect, and project an image back to us that we deem to be true. The energy of the mirror is all about self-perception. When the archetype of the mirror appears, we are in the mythic land of Narcissus, who saw himself reflected in a pool and fell in love with his own image. So compelled by his reflection, he could not turn away, a fixation that eventually led to his death. Recognize the power and the danger of the mirror. It is a construct, one that may drive a shard between you and your true self. The mirror contains trickster energy. Put the phone down. Stop with the comparisons and let the mirror stand empty for a while. Rest with the one inside. So that's your reading, Capricorn. I hope that it resonated. If it did, please like, share, subscribe, comment down below. Please hit the bell notification to be updated as to when I post new readings. Thank you, Capricorn.